Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more. My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum. So it's finally happened. I've bought a building and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults. So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection. And then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies. So let's start this episode of valuing my toy collection and value some toys. Jump right in. This faded blue plane's worth about $30. We've got our helper Daisy back there to help us today. This hot pink plane's worth about $40. And then we have the 2016 blue SUV Jeep worth about $30 from the camping series. The 2008 Malibu Barbie Jeep's worth $15, and the pink metallic Corvette's worth $50. The little blue compact cruiser's worth about $10, and the pink one's worth $15. This little Fiat, still in the box, is worth $25. The little wooden pink car is worth $10. And this vintage white Corvette from 1985 is worth $25. Pink 2001 Corvette's worth $20. The little Volkswagen's $20. And the Jeep's worth about $20. And this vintage pink Corvette's also worth about $20. And the LOL Corvette, it's worth about $20. And this little pink car is worth about $15. This plane is worth about $40. The Barbie train is worth about $50. And then we have one more generic pink Corvette, and it's worth about $20. Now we'll move on to some costumes we have for our stage shows at our pageant. These aren't worth a whole lot, but I'm trying to value everything we have left in the house. We have an Anna costume and several mermaid costumes and Belle costume. All these are worth about $10 each. They're not worth a whole lot, but every dollar helps. I have a Snow White, a Cinderella, Belle, Rapunzel, all worth $10. This is a nicer Belle costume worth at least $20. And then we have a nicer Elsa dress worth at least $20. We paid a lot more than that, but hey, it's something. These costumes, little Orphan Annie, and then we have the wig with it. And then we have Genie. We've used him several times in our Aladdin number. And then we have this kind of cool taco or burrito. And these are all worth about $10 each. Have this little backdrop that we take pictures of dolls and stuff. It's worth about $5. Not a whole lot, but like I said, every dollar helps. And then we have two Hawaiian costumes. They're worth at least $10 each. And then we have a couple Jasmine costumes worth about $10. 2008 Fisher-Price Love and Family Grand Mansion's worth about $100. And then we have this Barbie camper here. It's worth about $50. We have the Bratz movie bus. It's worth about $65. And then we have two LOL glampers, and these are worth about $50 each. Daisy's leg is in the way. There's my pretty girl. Look at that face. Oh. All right, some miscellaneous stuff. Found this cigar box full of little Mighty Beans we're going to keep. It's probably worth about $15. A couple more cigar boxes worth about $5 each, full of our old cell phones from throughout the years. They're probably all worth about $50 for all of them, maybe more than that. I don't know what they go for. I've got these vintage storage boxes that I love. These are from the 70s, and I have them in different colors, and they're worth about $10 each. They're pretty groovy. Have this VHS rewind tape rewinder shaped like a Corvette. It's probably worth about $20. Really cool crown jewelry box worth about $10. Got this huge curio cabinet that we screwed to the wall, and it's full of little goodies. I can't add up every little thing, but I kind of did an estimate. And with the cabinet itself and all the goodies in there, it's easily worth about $150. Had this powder room sign on our bathroom door. It's worth about $20. These vintage trash cans worth about $20. I picked up at an estate sale. I've got my Sonic sign that my dad bolted to the floor for me, and it lights up. It's really cool. I just need a new light bulb in it. It's worth about $400. Got this huge bag of wigs that we've got to go through. We'll say $25. Got this little yardstick holder someone made that has a yardstick in it. That's very clever. So probably worth about $5. Got these old vintage makeup bags. These are from like American Tourister and Samsonite. They're worth about $20 each. We have 4 of those. I think I'm gonna use them for display pieces at the flea market. Then I've got a bunch of these vintage hat boxes. We have 5 of these and they're worth at least $12, $15 each. I'd say 15. So that's what, another $75 we can add to our overall grand total. Cleaning out these old closets in the house, I have just found a little bit of everything. I found an old vintage iron that's pretty cool, probably worth about $15, in olive green. I found these smocks and wigs we use for beauty school dropout. They're worth about $30. This ottoman that has this gaudy flower arrangement in it, but it's so 70s. It's worth about $35. Found these wooden purses up in the top of the closet. They're worth at least $20 each. And then we found these old hats inside those hat boxes. And we did another video where we valued all of our vintage hats at $20 each. So we'll say all these are worth about $20 each. So that's another $100. Got these oversized cat glasses we used at beauty school dropout and a vintage pair of sunglasses. They're all worth about $3 each. Found some more jewelry we're going to keep. That blue set's worth about $20. And this really pretty clear set with earrings is worth about $25. Just have a bunch of random stuff today. This little cloud plush is worth $1, and these Jessica Simpson shoes are so unique. They're worth about $40. I'm not surprised though. They're pretty cool. Have found a tote full of feather boas and stuff. I'm not even going to go through that right now. It's probably worth about $10 for the ones we'll keep. And then I found a bolt of this vintage fringe I'm definitely going to keep and do something with one day, but probably worth about $20 for all that fringe. It's really thick. Found these fur stoles up in the closet. We have 6 different colors here, and these are probably all worth about, I'd say at least $15 each. So that's about $90 worth of these fur stoles. They're very fun. Might use those for a pageant production number, and our helper Daisy loves them. All right, then I found this vintage fur coat in the closet. It's a Lauracell fur coat. We're going to value it at $45. We have these long neck styrofoam wig stands, and these are worth about $12 each. We have our Tommy Hilfiger bench at the end of our bed. That's worth at least $100. I don't know if I'm keeping it just yet. These pedestals we have are worth about $75 for this set. We'll keep this little light up tree, and it's worth about $20. This little hot air balloon lamp we have, it's really cool. Probably worth about $35, I would guess. And then we have this peacock lady hanging on the wall. I'd say worth about $25. We've got this framed artwork worth about $40. We've got these metal hot air balloon wall arts. They're worth about $25 for the set. 2 of these plants worth about $10 each. Our hot air balloon canvas in the back walls worth $30. And that balloon's from the Bellagio worth $75. And the plush vintage one's worth about $15. And then there's our other plant. We just put them on the top of the columns. All right, we've got this 3 vase set with some ivy. It's worth about $35. Then our little cabinet it sits on is worth about $75. Got some old vintage money and some proof sets. I think all of this is worth at least $30. I don't have time to go through it all, but I'm going to say about $30 for all of it. And then we've got this cool hot air balloon on a metal stand worth about $65. My parents gave that to me for Christmas when they were alive. I love it. Coming up, we have a lot more miscellaneous stuff while cleaning this house out. It's just a lot. Got this little bowl of blue beads we're going to use in our Smurf village as a little lake. Probably worth about $6. Got this little butterfly headband worth about $4. Got these cool little rain tree frog watercolors. And I figure they're worth about $20 each. So that's about $40. Those are pretty nice. Then we've got this cool little priest and nun doll that the church gave us. They didn't sell at their yard sale. They're worth about $30. Got these little Coco Melon bath figures worth about $3. Got this little magic Moorplane mystery ball worth about $6. And an MGM 75th Barbie from 1998 worth about $35. Got these little screen break figures. They're worth about $6 each. I just picked those up at Walmart because they were on clearance for $1. This Dolly Parton birthday candle set's worth about $5. And the plates are worth about $5 as well. And then we've got this little dolly that looks like a Barbie rug, so I kept it. It's worth about $6. Got a vintage Family Feud game worth about $10. And now we're going to move on to some Avon bottles. That blue one was my grandmother's. It was always on her little vanity. Very cute. But all these girls are worth about $12 each. Back in the day, you loved getting your Avon bottles because they were full of your favorite perfume or cologne. And all these are worth about $12 each, and we have 11 of those. And then these are kind of cool. These little specialty ones like birds and deer. So we have 7 in this set, so that's another $70 we can add to our grand total. The big peacock, it's worth about $15. Then the poodle set's worth about $10 because I think the white one has some damage. And then the dolphin or the whale is worth about $10. And then we have these little thimbles shaped like ladies, and these are worth about $10 each. And then here we have 6 more bottles worth about $12 each. And at the very end, the one that looks like the Victorian lady in the yellow, she's a Mrs. Albee Award, and she's worth $25. Have a Mary Kay book that's worth about $6. Here we have a set of 9 more worth about $10 each. We have a frog and a couple bouquets of flowers that are pretty cool. And then a bird, and then it's a bell shape with a deer on the top. And then a turtle. Of a swan with a crown on its head, a cool owl, and then like a hippo with a hat on. And then we have a couple bigger ones here. These are worth about $12 each. This mint green fish, and then another fish. This would be like a man's cologne, and maybe that's a pheasant or a quail, and then a bear, and then a totem pole. They had such cool bottles back then. I wish they still did stuff like that. And then we have some that are in the box. We actually have 15 of these that are in the box. And I took them all out of the box, and you have to piece them together. But I think these are all probably worth about $12 each. Some might be worth a little bit more, but I think about $12 each is kind of fair. So we have 15 of those, so that's another $180 we can add to our overall grand total. Now, I can't remember where I got these. I think it was at a flea market or a garage sale. And I wasn't really looking to buy more Avon bottles because, room, that's a problem. You don't have a place to display everything. But I think I got these for like $1 or $2 each, and it was just too good of an offer to pass up. So I ended up buying like 15 of them. Now this one's actually really cool. It is actually soap, and it has survived this long, so I'm probably going to put it back in the box and not really display it because it's so fragile. And look at that cologne, like a thermos. That's a man's cologne. That's really cool. They were very creative with the way they were able to make these bottles. It really made people want to collect them just for the bottles. They probably could care less what the perfume smelled like. And a lot of these still have the perfume in them. And I know a lot of people get grossed out by that smell of old perfume, especially like old lady Avon perfume. I actually love it. I love the way that smells. I think it reminds me of my mom and grandma sometimes. All right, then we have an owl door stopper. That's kind of cool, worth about $15. All right, well, Daisy and I are just going through the house, seeing what else we have left to value. We are going to keep these metal and glass shelves. They're worth about $65. We have 2 of those. We're going to keep this little Asian side table worth about $65, and this cool plate light worth about $60. We're going to keep this really cool vintage wreath worth about $30, and this peacock ornament worth about $10. And then we have 2 of these stained glass pedestals, and they're worth about $50 and $75 each. We're going to keep our feather arrangement worth about $50. We'll keep our Asian ceramic head that you put on the wall. She's worth about $50. And this little half vase you put on the wall is worth about $15. What else we're going to keep? We're going to keep this little hydrangea arrangement worth about $15. And this really cool oil lamp. I was so shocked how much they're worth. It's worth about $300. We have another one of those stained glass pedestals. This one's round and they light up. It's worth about $75. And we're going to keep the flower arrangement on top of it. That's also worth about $75. Let's see what else we're going to keep. We are going to keep this Asian wood carving lady. She's worth about $60. I keep this beautiful Japanese flower tree. It's like a bonsai tree kind of. It's worth about $75. I got it in an estate sale for $25. Such a good deal. Gonna keep this metal and glass shelf. It's probably worth about $40. We'll hang on to that. And then we have a Golden Girls rug. Here's our model Daisy showing how you step on a rug. And it's probably worth about $35. It's not worth a whole lot, but it's a fun little rug. And I think I gave one of my friends this rug for Christmas as well. All right, I'll probably keep this rainforest partition. It's worth about $40. Once I get into the building, I'm probably going to have to let some stuff go. I went through my hundreds of VHS tapes, and I decided just to keep a few because some of them are pretty collectible, and I thought they'd only be worth about $1 each. But when I looked them up on eBay, they're worth about $3 to $8 each. I was surprised. So in these sets, I tried to do them in lots of 10 to make it easy on myself. And I'm just going to value them at $3 each. So every lot of 10 you see is worth $30. Now this Star Wars set, it's probably worth about $19. $3 each for those and 10 for the big set. Here's another lot of 10 that's probably worth about $30. We've got some really cool ones, but all the ones that we're going to end up selling at the estate sale when we finally do clean out the house, we'll probably just sell for $1 each, maybe two for $1 if they don't sell good. But a lot of these, like I said, are pretty collectible, and I'm just going to hang on to them a little bit. I still have a couple VCRs and DVD players. I'm going to hook up to the TV. We're going to have a little apartment room at the Toy Museum, and I might have one up at the front counter. We can just watch old VHS and DVDs all day if not a lot of people show up that day at the Toy Museum. Some of these I kept because they just have some of my favorite actors in it, like Whoopi Goldberg. Here's some Walt Disney World promotional VHSs, WKRP in Cincinnati, Rugrats, some fun stuff here. Phyllis Diller, How to Have a Garage Sale, The Bodyguard, Grease, Saved by the Bell. Just the graphics on some of these are awesome. Titanic, some South Park, and Austin Powers movies. I just couldn't let go of all of these. And I found a couple more DVDs hiding out, and I just priced all of these about $3 as well. Look at that young Arnold Schwarzenegger right there. And then I found a couple DVD sets. I value those at about $5 each. It's hard to sit down and watch a whole series sometimes. And then this kids lot of a button and a DVD and a little Bambi cassette. Probably worth about $10 for all of that. And then I found one more section in here I had to go through, and then I'm done with the VHSs. But I found a bunch of the clamshell ones, the ones, you kind of know what that is, the big plastic box that opens up like a clamshell. Well, I ended up finding 54 of these that I'm going to end up keeping. And these are worth a little bit more. I'm going to say they're worth about $5 each. So that's $270 worth of VHS clamshell ones. But some of these could be worth more than $5. You know, sometimes they say, oh, this rare one's worth $200. But I don't think you're going to find too many people that would pay $200 for an old VHS tape. I mean, some people that might have a whole lot of money or something might waste it like that. But most of us are more frugal with our dollars, and we're not going to do that. So about $5 each is a fair price we normal people would pay. I am almost through packing up this house. I've just got a couple more rooms to go in the attic and we are done. So let's see at the end of this video what this is all worth. I can't wait to see the grand total for all this. It's so much work. Well, with our previous 467 videos of value in my toy collection, our collection was worth $1,169,228. Well, with this video of all of our miscellaneous stuff we could find in the house, we can add another $5,807 to our grand total. And I've decided I do want to backtrack. In one of my previous videos, I deducted $5,340 for all of our pageant collectibles because I was going to do a series just on our beauty pageant items, but I just don't have the energy. I think I'm going to cut it off at 500 videos, and I'm at 468. So I'm just going to add that back to this video and just continue this video series, including our pageant items. So for episode 468 of Value on My Toy Collection, after we add this video and our total we had deducted, we can add another $11,147 to our total. So that brings our grand total now to $1,180,375. I always wanted to say I own a $1 million toy collection, and now I can finally say it, but I'm not actually a millionaire. I'm more like a toyonaire because it's not cash money. But I've just been saving this stuff all my life, going to garage sales, flea markets, thrift stores, toy stores, and looking online, and it's just accumulated to this big old total. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. I just like to see what all I have and what it's actually worth. And I'm putting all the toys on our Facebook page, which is called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so, because when we get through adding up all this toy collection, we're going to start showcasing a lot of toys individually. So until our next video, we will see you then.